Hi, Farah.
Hi.
How are you doing? Is the connection okay? Can you hear me clearly? Both of
Yeah, I
us, we're
can.
having our Bluetooth on. I love it.
Yeah, I hear you clearly. It's not lagging for me. It's good. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So first and foremost, thank you so much for doing this. I know of you, it's been in the papers, you have brought a lot of glory and joy to Malaysia.
Oh, thank you so
I know
much.
of you, but I don't know you. I've never really spoken to you before. And actually someone messaged me and asked me, how do you like make this happen? Those of you who are questioning about that, I literally just messaged her and said, yo, I'm doing this. Are you interested? And then she was like, yes, let's do it. So
Yeah.
how's your day today?
It's been good. Today was actually a little bit full. Actually, my schedule was quite full today because my so I got up in the morning and then my
Mm,
coach. So I had a small program in the morning, about like 10 minutes workout. So I got out,
mm,
did the workout, and then I had breakfast, and then I started cleaning. I think that's a lot everyone else
nice.
does. So I started cleaning, and then I have another session at 3. So at 3 p.m., so all my teammates, so all of us, we have a Zoom meeting with our coach, and our coach gives us our program. So then I had training from 3 to about 5:30. Then I quickly showered, and I'm here with you now. So
Same.
that's why.
I literally had like a back-to-back workout. Um, and that was only maybe about like 2 hours. Now, those of you who don't know, Farah Ann, she's an artistic gymnast. Is that
Gymnast,
correct?
yeah, yeah. So my
Okay.
sport is artistic gymnastics, and I'm an artistic gymnast. Yep.
Perfect. So, those of you who don't know, she trains for 4 hours and sometimes 5.5 hours every single day, except Sunday, correct?
Yeah, I said Sunday. So I have a training program from Monday till Saturdays. And then now, I mean, like, I guess, like, not now because since I'm home, but usually if I have double sessions, then I have about an hour and a half session in the morning and then pause in the afternoon. And I have that about twice a week. And then Saturdays, we have morning sessions for about 3 to 4 hours.
This is like overwhelming for me because just now, literally today, right before this live stream, I literally just went on like 2 hours, 1 hour back to back, 2 hours like that. And I'm like, whoa, I'm just thinking, how can someone train for 4 hours straight? Is it straight? Do you break in between?
So what happens is, so in the 4 hours, the long session is usually in our own gym. So I'll give you a breakdown of how it goes. So we come to the
Yes,
gym and then
please.
we warm up. So our warm up, it's about um 5 minutes stretching, and then we have a physical exercise. So every day, so that's about half an hour, and then we do splits, and then we go into our apparatus. So we do 3 apparatus a day, and each apparatus, it depends on the day. Sometimes it can go for half an hour to an hour, and then we do each apparatus, and then we have another physical exercise, then we cool down. So our
Hold
session
up.
actually,
What's an apparatus? Because
oh, sorry.
apparatus, I'm thinking it's like something scientific, you're about to do some chemistry. Like, what's an apparatus?
So in gymnastics for women, I always like if I don't. So it's I always talk to people who are athletes and like my teammates and stuff. So when I say these things, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I know what you mean." And so
Yeah.
sometimes I forget that if I'm not talking to someone in the sporting world, they're like, Farah, hello, I
Ding,
don't know
ding, ding.
what
What
it
is
is.
that?
I don't know what it is. So we
Yeah.
have
So, what is an apparatus?
so for apparatus or event, we women we have 4. So we have the vault. So the one that we run to and we leap off. So that's the vault.
Mm.
And then we have the bar, the one that we swing like monkeys. So that's the uneven bars. And then we have the balance beam where we walk on the beam. That's a balance beam. And then the floor where we dance and tumble. So that's 4. So women's has 4 and
Okay.
men's have 6. So they have the rings. When you usually see like gymnastics is the rings, that's only men's. And then they have the parallel bars and high bars. Yeah. So that's what I do.
Wow.
So because people always get
So
confused
you
with
do, sorry?
rhythmic. People always get confused with rhythmic. So rhythmic is the one with the ribbons, and I don't do that. Yeah,
Ah.
the ribbon
Hey,
and the hoop.
why do you not do the ribbon?
So the easiest way for me to explain this is, so like you have aquatics. So aquatics, they have diving, you have swimming, but you don't. If you're a swimmer, you don't do diving, and if you do diving, you don't do swimming. So it's kind of like that with gymnastics. So we're under the same category as
Have you
gymnastics.
tried the ribbon yourself?
So I did rhythmic gymnastics when I was young, actually. Um,
Mm.
I did it for like a couple of months, and then the coach there said like, your daughter doesn't like rhythmic. So I did, because I was doing both rhythmic and artistic, and I just fell in love with artistic and not really rhythmic. But I did like when I was
see.
like 5 years old.
Oh wow! So ever since then, so you've been doing this since you were 3. I mean,
Yeah.
I've stalked you before this interview because I really wanted to not ask you the questions because I prepared, guys. Those of you who don't know, I prepared a list of questions.
Yes.
Because I don't want it to be like the questions that you have always answered in all of your interviews. Because a lot of people are probably curious about it, and those of you who are curious about her career, you can definitely check it out online. It's even on Wikipedia. Hello. She's got her own Wikipedia page. But yeah, I really want to get into the strength of your mind because you're at such a young age. I don't want to bring back bad memories, but back I think in 2015, there was some horrible things said about you, some really irrelevant things said about you. So I really want to figure out how your brain works and how to overcome certain mental blocks, right? So before we touch on that, first I want to talk about one very important thing, okay? So for me, the first 3 days of the RMO, I procrastinate a lot. Like you see this sofa here, this was my favorite spot, and I would just watch Netflix nonstop. And I wouldn't work out. I wouldn't move. I didn't want to do anything. And so I procrastinated. And I think a lot of us back at home, we procrastinate as well. So my big question is, do you as an athlete, do you procrastinate?
So I do, in a sense where it's like, so there's, I guess, two sides of me. So as an athlete, I've never procrastinated. I've never been late to a training session. I mean, I have been late in a sense where when I was in university, my classes would finish at a certain time, and I would tell my coach. So if the training started at 3 and my classes finished at 3, I would tell my coach I'll be late. So I'll be there when I could, as fast as I could. So in that sense, but if it was at 3 o'clock, I would be there at like 2:45. I was there. If my training sessions were 7 in the morning, then I would be there at 6:50 in the morning. So I've never procrastinated as an athlete. Like I've never ever missed training sessions. I've never been late. I've always done all the work that we've needed to do. But in life, that I think has taken a little bit of my procrastination. So like in like doing stuff like cleaning things, or like sometimes in work in school where I procrastinated, okay, I'll do this at 1, but then I end up doing it at 1:30. So that was a bit, and especially when the RMO started, I was a little bit taken aback because I didn't have that schedule of training anymore. And I was like, and then I actually had a little bit of I was very anxious on the second day in the morning because I got up, okay, I need to fill my day with things. And so I got up and I did a list of, okay, today I'm going to do this, today I'm going to do that. And then it helped me build my schedule. And then my coaches actually decided so every day at 3 p.m., we would have our programs and we would all do it together. So wherever like my teammates were, we would do it together. So that's how I kind of scheduled my day in order to not procrastinate, and also to not feel anxious, because I think that my day has always been filled up with things to do. So there was always been days. So every day I know that I'm going to be training this time. I had physio at this time. Last night I had classes at this time. And so suddenly to not have that was a little bit of a shock. And the first few days, I was like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And I did. I got in the morning, I'm doing online classes. So I did online classes, I had breakfast, and then I did my workout, and then at night I cleaned and all this. And then I think I got a little bit overwhelmed because then it was, okay, I have too much things to do. And then I set myself a little bit back. So I think with procrastination, I think it's good. I think it needs to be half and half, because I think this time is the only time that we can actually just sit and allow ourselves to breathe. And without having all the stress of having to be somewhere at a certain time. And I've realized that I need both. So I needed both things to do, but also allowing myself that it's okay. So I started meditating and doing yoga as well.
Wow!
Yeah.
Is this your first time? I'm sure you've done it. Have you done meditation before?
So I have a different type of meditation. So in gymnastics or in any sports, we have mental training. So I always do visualization, I always do my routines, and I am a very big thing on self-talk. Because you were saying about how we need to be mentally strong, and mentally, that's what I have the biggest thing on. Like, it's one of my biggest problems. I guess it's not a problem, it's something that I need to work on. Because I always say, oh my God, what if I lose? And what if, what if I don't bring back that medal? And what if, so I have to always, okay, Farah, you got this. You can do this. You can do it. And as an athlete, we always work on that. So meditation is different in a sense where it's basically letting all of it go and like not thinking about anything. So it was a little bit like, okay. So I tried it and I actually really do enjoy it. So I can only do like 5 minutes. So I'm just trying to
Can you share with us? Can you share with us like the 5 minutes? Because for me, my meditation is I've downloaded this app called Calm, and sometimes I even YouTube some meditation.
I
You have that? It helps me to sleep. It helps me to sleep.
That's good.
So for me, it's just watching. I really like meditation because it calms me down, and sometimes it calms me down so much that I fall asleep. You know what I mean? So that becomes my problem. It becomes my problem. So I want to know like your 5 minutes meditation, like how do you begin? Like those of you at home right now, you're watching this. We got 300 people watching this right now. I think it's really interesting to try to meditate because when your day is filled with so many different things, it is time to try and see if you can fill part of your day, that 5 minutes of nothingness. So why don't Farah, you share with us like how do you get that started? How do you start your 5 minute meditation journey?
So because I've never done it before, so I actually just went on YouTube and I just Googled meditation, and then there was obviously there's so much that comes out. So I just went through a few and I found someone that I really liked, and she kind of talked through it. So she talked through how to do it and stuff. So right now I'm on where she still talks through, so it's a little bit easier for me. And then so when I was talking through, and then there's a session where there's already music on, so it's a lot easier. So I just kind of followed that program. So it's a lot easier for me because I cannot just like sit, because then my mind kind of races. So I follow a program first because I'm trying to learn how to calm my thoughts. So I think that, and also she was like focus on breathing, because for me I use in and out, because for me that's the easiest one to do, where I just focus on my breathing while saying. And then there was something really interesting that she said, where when we sit, sometimes there's like noise, or there is like you hear all these things where you just acknowledge it. So I like how I say, okay, I acknowledge it, it's noise, and then I come back, which I found like, wow, I can actually train my mind that way. So right now I'm beginning, so that's what I'm doing. I'm just like YouTubing. I think YouTube is great. I've YouTube like a lot of things now.
Yes, those of you who are like you message me. Some of my viewers message me and say that, oh, what workout do you do? Can you share your workout? Guys, just YouTube. You don't know, you just YouTube the word workout. Just YouTube the word meditation. Coming back to meditation, right? There's something that was very interesting for me. I think one of the gurus taught this class, and he said that meditation is not about ignoring all your anxieties.
Yeah.
I think that's a beautiful thing, because a lot of us think, when it comes to processing your thoughts or being positive, for example, it's not about just trying to, no, I must be okay, I must be fine. It's also about acknowledging it and resolving it. And another thing when it comes to meditation, guys, when you're sitting down there and you're thinking, trying to think about nothing, but sometimes a thought comes in. Not even about work, maybe like you start to itch here, your butt start to itch, or like you just feel like you need to move or something like this. I feel there was this quote I remember. It's not a quote, but it was something said by this guru. It said that you need to imagine, there's a cloud of those thoughts coming in, and those clouds are just passing by. Whoa, that helps me so much, because that just kind of remind me, right? That it's like a thought. We are human. We have all these thoughts surrounding us. It's important to just let it pass. Correct?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, like coming back to it, like RMO right now, and then even for me, I didn't even know that like I could have because I started lagging. Okay.
Tapa.
Sorry,
We'll just talk.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So like I was actually feeling a little bit like anxious, and I couldn't breathe, but I've had like difficulty breathing actually, because I was just laying in bed and I was just like, oh my God, like I was getting really anxious. And then I think that especially with the, like for me, it was one with the Olympic Games and everything, and I said, and okay, I was always, okay, I need to do this, I need to do this, and everything, and I was just like, I don't know what to do. And that's how, like, I was like, okay, I'll try meditation. And my older sister Katrina, she's such an amazing person. She like sends me things all the time. She's like kind of like the self-help. So she would send me workout, send me this, and then she sent me like this meditation thing. And then she's like, okay, there's this thing right now. There is like programs that you can do. And then she just, and then other than that, like calling friends was something that, like, the Zoom meetings was just something, just saying hey, and that really calmed me down a lot. I think a lot of people, especially if like, you're watching now, I think a lot of people are very anxious, and you don't even realize you're anxious until you realize that, oh my God, you think about all the things that are happening. Because I think at first, I try not to think about all the things that are happening. And then it kind of dawns on you when it's everywhere. You open Instagram, it's everywhere. You open Twitter, the news. And my dad loves like listening to the news, and he's on it all the time, and it was starting to really stress me out. And then with the Olympics, and then my dad was asking, oh, so are they, and my friends were asking, oh, are they postponing it? Are they canceling it? So what are you doing? Are you still training? Are you going to do this? Are you going to do that? And I was just like, I don't know. Like, I think we're in such a time of uncertainty. And I think that, and I finally realized that it's okay to be in a realm of like, I don't know, but that's okay. Especially for you, since, your work, like then your work is like doing, like working with brands, especially, and like online, and suddenly not be able to go out and shoot. Like, how is it for you, like in this time?
Honestly, I shared about this on my IG stories about a couple last week. I was so down, like I couldn't control this anger. For some reason, I was this rage came in, and then because I got a bad or unsavory message from a client, and then I just took my phone and I just threw it. I was that angry, and it surprised me that that anger kind of lingered until the next day. What I realized is that being quarantined, I after that experience, I went online and I did research about the effects of staying in. So I want to share with those of you right now something I found really interesting, and I want to make sure that you guys perhaps can learn something from this. It's exactly what I was going through. The effects of quarantine, especially when you're alone, you feel lonely, you feel directionless, and you'll feel that the whole world is crumbling in front of you. And for people who have a sense of feel the need to control, like, oh, this situation, I need to control it. The people who like to be in control. The problem is when you're not in control, you start to crumble, you start to break. And that is a dangerous path. For me, I have a tendency to be depressive. I have a tendency to be very anxious. And when anxiety attacks, I don't realize it's coming. It could be very, very daunting. So coming back to your question, when a client, when brands start to pull out, while you understand, because everyone is going through it right now. Every single person is going through it right now. I can't go out and shoot. I can't express myself out there. I can't go to a cafe just to have coffee. Those things, you realize how much you take being out willingly, lovingly for granted, And it's moments like this that scares me about the future. And this research shows that people have the tendency to have lower immunity as well when they stay in at home. And when you have lower immunity, it means that you get sick easily. It means that you don't want to work out, it means you don't want to do stuff. And that fear is a very dangerous thing. And that's why I really wanted to speak to someone who has the tendency to focus on the right things. And I want to take our conversation back to your training.
Okay.
So I wrote a title as Once Broken, Considered Gold.
Yeah.
And the reason why I wrote that is because I've read some of your interviews. I've heard some of your, seen some of the videos, and said that you broke almost every bone. It's like you go through so many injuries. Your apparently I saw in meletup or something, like your leg kaki kat sini, everything. You don't have tendon ke or something like that. I'm not very sure. I was like, how can someone go through this? Because I had a little injury, like I sprained my ankle slightly, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to do anything for the rest of my life. I don't want to injure myself again. How do you become fearless and just continue going and win medals? That's why I wrote it, once broken, considered gold. You came back with a gold. Can you tell us your worst injury, right? The worst one. Don't need to be too graphic, because our 300 viewers here might not be able to take it. You can say your worst experience, how long it took you to recover, and what you learned from it.
So I've had many. I haven't broken every single bone in my body. Okay, I'm just putting it out there, because sometimes, news likes to
Oh, mengheboh-hebohkan.
menghebohkan, meletup-letupkan benda. But so I think I've had many injuries, many injuries. I am also injured now. I have shoulder injuries, so both shoulders are now hurting. Like, it used to be only one, and now it's both. But then, normal as an athlete.
Normal.
So sorry. So so I guess the worst one. So there's different pains. So there's pains where you can stand, and then the strength is so painful, but you're like, okay, can lah. But then there are so I fractured my spine when I was so there's two. Okay, sorry, I'm really explaining this.
No, it's okay. We got all the time, honey. Okay.
So so when I was 11 years old, okay, so that was an impact injury where I was in competition, and I landed with my leg straight, which kind of, it tore my calf muscle. And then I fractured a little bit of my knee, and that took a while to recover. So that was impact. So it was really painful for a very like for that amount of time. So I had to be brought to the hospital, and then it was really painful. And I remember being in the ambulance, and it was so painful, and my mom was with me because I was only 11, and then she was like, what can I do? I'm like, make the pain stop. And my mom's like, and I could see in her face, and like she was like, we'll get to the hospital. We went to the hospital. So, but that wasn't the worst. I guess that wasn't bad, because it was really bad at the point in time, but then it healed. I've also fractured my spine when I was, I think, 15. I don't remember. And then that was really bad because I kind of ignored it, which you shouldn't do. If you have pains, please go and see the doctor. But I love gymnastics so much, and I love competing. And for me, it was like, if I'm in pain, then I cannot train, because obviously my coaches aren't going to allow me, to be in pain and train. So I kind of just and I kind of swept it under. So I was in pain, but my coach was like, is it an okay pain? Can you still train? I said, oh, it's fine. So I trained for 6 months. I went to Sigma. I went to all these competitions. And after I finished Sigma, I remember, because I couldn't, I was in so much pain that I couldn't even warm up properly. And I competed. And after that, I couldn't walk.
God.
I couldn't walk. I couldn't sleep because it was so painful. And so I went to the doctor, and then they're like, one of your spine is fractured, it's a stress fracture, so it was over time. So that took me, it was a long time, and after that it was really painful because I couldn't sleep. When I was in class, I had to have a back brace and sit, and so I've had many life. I've had 16 injections into my left shoulder because I tore the ligament, and it wasn't healing because I was stubborn and kept on training. But most athletes go through that. The ligaments in my leg, my left leg, one of the ATFL is gone. The ligament is not functional anymore because it's basically ripped. And so basically there have been a lot of injuries, and especially an athlete, it's kind of, as an athlete, you go through them because of the training that we do. It's just part and parcel of being an athlete. But I think the goals that I wanted for my career had always surpassed it. So I remember once I twisted my ankle a day before a competition. And then my coach is like, if you can warm up, then you can go. And I just gritted my teeth and just did it. And it was a lot of pain, but I think knowing that I wanted to compete, I needed to do this competition, I wanted these goals, that really pushed me to, one, being injured is one, but recovering from an injury is something that's, it takes months. It took me 6 months to get like my ankle back and my spine back. And I still go to the gym every day. So I go to physio, I go to my rehab, and then I go to the gym. So if my ankle is injured, then I do upper body. If my upper body is injured, I do my legs. So, and it's a lot because you cannot train properly and see your teammates training. You just have to do your program. So you're basically just trying to make sure that you're fit enough to get back into training. But when you get back into training, you're at such a low level that you have to build yourself back up again. So it's a long journey, and I've been very lucky to have had injuries that have healed and are doing good. And like I know some of my teammates who are battling injuries, who've had many operations. I have a teammate, if you don't know her, she's Rachel. She won a medal last year in SEA Games. She actually injured both her knees and had to be flown back both, and had operation on both her knees. And then like she was like injured for 2 years, and it was so much. But then she came back and then she won a medal at the SEA Games. So it's like, it takes a lot, but as most athletes, we have a goal and we have a mindset that we want to achieve our goals, and we need to do all of these things, even though we're in pain, or even though it's hard. Like rehab is really hard, sometimes even harder than training, because it's a lot of repetitions. You're in pain, and sometimes the pain is necessary because you need to move the body, and then to get back to where you were at. And sometimes in your mind, you're just like, what if I'm not as good anymore? Like, what if your body just doesn't recover, or like you don't have, like for gymnasts, like we cannot take a long break because we lose feeling. And when I say I lose feeling, means like the feeling of the skill takes a while to get. Like a senior athlete, because I've trained for now almost 23 years, I kind of have already the basics. But sometimes I can go back and I'm like, oh my God, I can't, like you can't get it. And then you try and try and try, you can't get it. And so that's sometimes a fear where you will never be as good as you were. But I've been very, like, I guess I've been very thankful and grateful to be able to always come back and always push like the boundaries that I thought I had, and just kind of overcome all those barriers. Okay, carry on.
I've got a question about athlete and their brains, okay? Because let me share with you my first ever episode of Weekends with Jen this year is me doing a backflip.
We're all crazy.
Okay?
We're all crazy.
No, that's the thing. I need to understand this because I did a backflip. I fell on my head right here. Boom. But it was like a very soft mattress, and you know, like I could hear the sound. But that scared me. Like I didn't want to continue. Like I'm scared, right? I'm scared that like I would be worse, right? How
and you're gonna fall again.
Exactly. How do athletes bypass that fear in your mind and continue to do it? Like how does that work? I need to know.
It's a lot of work. It is. It's a lot. And I even now, like I have my mental block sometimes can be quite bad. And it really is a lot of training. It's a lot of mind training. I think a lot of people don't understand the mental training that a lot of athletes need and go through. So for example, so a mental block, like you were saying just now, by falling, most of us have that, especially when you fall and you fall badly and you fall on your head. To redo that skill again, you will have that block in your head. And especially that's why when people who have never done backflips, and when they ask me to teach them, I get a little bit afraid because I don't want them to fall, because it's very dangerous one. So I'm very happy that you are okay because
I'm not sure if I'm that okay. Huh? Okay.
Yeah, so it takes a lot. So one of the things that we do train is mental training. So I see psychologists, I see mental trainers too. So I have, which is a totally separate issue, but I have mental blocks which sometimes physically stops me from doing the skill, and I cannot explain why. And so that requires a whole totally different training session of doing the skill in my mind and doing the skill. Like, so literally you just stand there and you repeat the skill in your head. You repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. And in order for you to do it, and then you have to physically train it. So it takes a lot of training with mental blocks, because especially when you're learning a new skill and you're obviously afraid, because one, you have no idea how to do it. Two, you are afraid of falling. And or if you've already fallen at the skill and fallen badly, you have to physically force yourself and talk to yourself to do it. So it's either you tell yourself, I can do this, and then you train the skill, you train little parts of it. So you train the first part, the second part, the third part, the fourth part, and then you put it all together. You build your strength. So I always say that the stronger you are, the better that you succeed. Because when you're stronger, you're mentally going to be stronger as well, because you know that your body can take it. So when you know that you're fit, you know that you can land the skill because you are fit enough. And it's repetition. You have to do things a lot of times to get over that mental block. And I also have amazing coaches and amazing teammates who are there for me. They always like, Jayo, Farah, you can do it, and then they help me, they support me. My coaches tell me, my coaches support. So that's why we have like a lot of coaches, a lot of mats. So they support, they help. And then, so it's a lot. It really is. I think training your body is sometimes is easier than training your mind, because our mind is something that can easily switch. So I can even tell you that today I can do that skill, and then tomorrow I stand at the exact same place and I'm scared. And I think most of us sometimes we're scared to do some things, or like basically not really scared. I think it's we are afraid that we aren't able to do it, or we're gonna land and then we're gonna hurt ourselves. So it's a lot of training and it's hard, but you can get through it. And it's also finding what works for you. So like for me, I need my coach to stand there, and I need my teammates to tell me certain things. And I also have to tell myself that I can do this. So I have a lot of self-talk that I do, and training that I have to do in order to make a skill. So it's both training, talking to yourself, knowing your body, and basically just going for it. Sometimes you just need to go for it. And usually I think people always realize is when you go for it once and then you succeed, you get so much confidence that you're like, oh, actually I can do this. Oh, I'm actually good. And then the second and third time always gets a little bit easier. But it's that first time you just have to be brave and just do it.
I agree. So, I'm doing this thing called this RMO Body. I'm trying to get my viewers to tag me when they tag me on IG stories or whatever when they are working out during the day. So the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm trying to encourage people, 230 of you watching right now. I'm trying to encourage you guys to work out every single day. The first week, the first 3 days, the first time is always the worst. So I think from what Farah you've shared, what I can gather is, number one, you need to talk to yourself. You need to tell yourself that, you have to do this. You have to do it for your own good. Like, you have to get your body moving, because we're not born to lie down and procrastinate. We're born to move. So you have to do it. Pep talk. Number two, as what you said, just go for it. I think just 5 minutes, 10 minutes of just moving, getting your blood flow from up to down. You want to walk to the kitchen and get more food or whatever. Just move. I really want to encourage people to move. And why I'm pushing so hard for this is because I experience it myself. I've been working out for 30 days non-stop every single day. Not as crazy as you. 4 hours, 5 hours, no. But I've been working out for at least 45 minutes a day to an hour, and I feel the difference. I feel lighter, I feel more awake, and I see my body transform. And coming back to the mind of an athlete, it really is a lot of self-talk. We both can share about our inspiration, but really, those of you at home watching right now, it really is your take. You are the frontliner. Talking a little bit about the pandemic. I saw this video, right? This doctor, she shared that I'm appreciative. Okay, imagine I'm a doctor, I'm wearing glasses, and I'm very intelligent, okay? So she said, I'm appreciative that you think that we are the frontliners, but the truth is, we are not the frontliners. each and every one of you watching right now, you are the frontliners. So stay at home and don't go out. We are the last line of defense. You are the frontliners, okay? So imagine this is a doctor, okay?
But
what made me realize about this is, in the end of the day, it is our mind, it is us. We are the reason why we do what we do. And for Farah, for you to be able to, after breaking so many bones and still going through the pain here and the pain here, it really is because it's your passion. And this leads me to the next question. So you have been training non-stop, 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours, whatever, every single day. You're training for the Olympics, and it's just been announced that, it's postponed.
yeah.
I want to know, if you're willing to share your real thoughts. Were you angry? How did you feel the moment it actually said? Because you worked so hard for it, and did it feel? How did you feel?
So I think, okay. So when we first had the RMO, the Olympics obviously was on my mind because this whole year it's already planned out. So we planned for the Olympics already, all my competitions, all the training programs, and because this is the first time that I qualified for the Olympics, so it's a whole thing. So even in December, like my coaches, all of us, my technical delegates, all of us, everyone is sitting down and planning which competitions are we going to go to, what's the training program, where are we going to go, what's our training camps, and everything has been set. So when it happened, I was just like, okay, I cannot. So how long? So it's 2 weeks. So 2 weeks is still okay. I can. So it's still in July. Even if I miss this competition, it's fine because then I can just get back into training. And then there were news popping up where it was, some people are saying maybe they should just cancel it, or postpone it. So I was feeling very sad. I guess that's the easiest word to use. It was sad because I spent all my life training for this competition, and then finally when I get there and I'm at the end of the road, and if they cancel it, it's basically like the one dream that I had is gone. And so I was really worried, and then my parents asked me, so what do you know? I said, I don't know. I don't know now. This is before they announced it. I said, I don't know. I'm hoping and praying that they don't cancel it, because it's like I wouldn't know what to do, because how do you get over it? That not making it is different than it being canceled, which because I've not made it. I've gone through that already, and that is a whole other thing that will take a couple of hours to get through. But so when they announced that, before they announced that it was postponed, I was feeling very sad, and I didn't know what to do. And then when they announced it was postponed, then I was like, okay, at least now they postponed it, then I don't have to worry anymore about how am I going to get in shape by then. Because with the RMO being another 2 weeks, that's 1 month. And 1 month out of training, it will take me about 2.5 months, almost 3 months to get back into shape. And that's just getting back into shape and not even competition ready yet. So I was thinking, oh no, it's how. So now they postponed. And then when they announced that they postponed it until next year, I finally could sit down and say, okay, that is a very good decision. Because what was in my mind was, if they didn't postpone it, then if I was in Japan, and being an athlete would be a little bit better, because there are a lot of precautions that are being done by our government, by our sports industry, by everyone involved, and also the Japanese sports industry, the IOC, the Olympic International Olympic Council. But I was thinking, what about my parents? If they're gonna go, they're gonna be in the crowd. And I don't want them to be in the crowd with all these people. And with the pandemic happening, I would rather they stay home, because I don't want to be worried and to fear that. But and all those people, the Olympics going to be so many people, and then if people don't go, then if there's no spectators, then what's really the point of having the Olympics? Because in the end, it's a competition, but it's also, how I say, it's a whole thing. I think it's because it's us competing, the athletes, but it's also the spectators. It's also
bringing people together.
Yeah, it's experience that we want as a family, and as spectators, and as And as people who are involved in any games would know, it's just that like it's bringing everyone together, meeting other people. But then it would have been such a tense situation, and everyone would just been worried. So and then I know that the Canadian Olympic Council was saying if it's not postponed, then they pulled out. The US, they were pulling out, and a lot of the countries were pulling out. And then so when they postponed it, to me, like I put up my statement on Instagram, where I think that in the end it is more important that we think about the world and like everyone's health, because what's the point of having such an amazing event if nobody's going to enjoy it? So having it next year, and hopefully by then, like, you know, everything is settled down, and then everyone is safe and everyone's healthy, and then we can actually enjoy this moment in time where it's the Olympic Games, and that we can all enjoy it together, not just as an athlete, as a spectator, and everyone rooting for each of their individual countries to have that experience. So in the end, knowing that it's next year is actually really exciting now, but also has changed my plans, because this whole year was the Olympics, and then now it's I don't know. Now I don't know. Like, I don't know, because all our competitions are being cancelled, it's being postponed. Nobody knows what the next competition is. Nobody knows when we can get back into the gym, and nobody actually knows at this point of time what's going to happen. So I think it's just about, for me now, especially RMO, it's just making sure that I do all my programs, keep fit, whatever happens, know that I'm going to be ready whenever I need to step back into the gym.
Are you, apart from, you know, keeping fit and all of that, are you fearful of the unknown?
I think it comes and goes, where there are times where I feel like I don't know what to do. I don't know how to deal with it, because for me, especially as being an athlete, going for training and then having competitions, and not knowing is a little bit scary. But I find that it comes I'm sorry, I'm just trying to like think about how, because like I was saying, even when I'm talking about this today, like yesterday night, I was in tears and I was praying, because I didn't know how else to like release that emotion. So I was just like, all I wanted was for like my family, my friends, and people, all my loved ones, to be safe and to be healthy, and to know that we can all get through this together if we all do what we are supposed to do. Stay home, be safe, be hygienic, and actually just listen. And so knowing that I can control that was a lot better. So knowing that I can control myself, my program, I'm very lucky to be able to have my RMO at home where my family is here. My sister is in Australia, but I get to FaceTime her. I know she's safe, and I know that she's doing everything that she can to be safe and doing all the precautions necessary. So I do fear the unknown, but I also think that with it being unknown, there are a lot of possibilities, and there are a lot of things that can happen. And sometimes these possibilities can be good. And sometimes things that we didn't think that our life needed, or things that we didn't even know that we wanted, we will achieve them, because this is now a new path for everyone. And maybe we would get to a place where we never knew that we would go, but that is actually our journey, and that we would be happy in that moment, or in that place that we'll be. So for me, yes, but also I'm excited to see what's next.
I agree with you. As much as I fear about the future, I takut gila, but at the same time, I feel like once this RMO is lifted, once things are slowly gonna get back to normal, the truth is normal will never be normal again. It's an exciting time to be alive. Because we got social media. So I want to bring it back to SARS. I don't know if you are aware of SARS. Okay?
Yeah, SARS.
So I was really young at that time, but SARS actually affected a lot more people. But because a lot more people did not have access to information, whether false or real information, but social media was not prominent then. And because it's more prominent now, more and more people are aware, and the fact that more and more people, don't want they're more knowledgeable right now. Like we got social media, we can connect right now. That is the beauty, and that's something to feel very blessed about. That you can actually Zoom with your friends, you can do a live stream with random human beings. I think that's something that's the uplifting part. But back when during SARS, during that time, according to some research, it said that for some people to just stay at home and not have a direction, not have a routine, just 2 weeks, just 14 days of being quarantined, that effect can last for 2-3 years. And that was something that was scary for me. And I told myself, remember I told you I drew my phone, right?
Yeah.
After that, when I tried to do my research and learning about these things, I realized that I don't want that. I need to make sure every single day I have a direction, I have a goal, there's something that I want to do. And my goal right now is to entertain and to enlighten my viewers, and also to learn from my friends, my new friends or old friends or random friends, And so coming back to what you said about, fearing about the unknown, it is also, we can flip the coin and see it as an opportunity to experience something a lot of people never get to experience because of social media. I think that's a beautiful thought. And I think I want to ask you this next question that I don't know if you're comfortable. If you're not comfortable, it's absolutely fine. But it's about this thing. I always like to poke little holes, If, let's just say, there's no more gymnastics, no more, what are you going to do with your life? What defines Farah Ann?
It's like there are a lot of people who ask you these questions. Like I think now, especially this year in my career, like at this age that I am in my career, I think everyone who's met me has asked me this question of what next. And to be very honest, so before this, my answer would be I don't know. Like, so because ever since I was young, like like masa sekolah rendah, you have those books yang you have to write, yang kena tulis like what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah, you got top 3 or something like that.
I got top 3 kan on the bottom.
Betul.
And then so you kena tulis lah. So my mom is a teacher, so I wrote gymnast and then teacher and then gymnast. So and then since I was 3 until I'm now turning 26 this year, it's like that has been my whole life. Like gymnastics has been my whole life, and it's scary. It is scary to think that in a couple of years, most probably I won't be a gymnast anymore. Because it's time for me to probably hang up my leotards and time to move on to something else. And so there's always this question where people ask me, what if I wasn't a gymnast? And I really have no answer for you. I have one answer, like, because I used to love doing dramas in high school, so I was a little bit like the one who was like, okay, who ran the show. So I was like, okay, I had to be like the producer and like the lead character also.
So you actually wanted to act?
Yes, like I love like drama and like and yeah. So I think that I would have gone into probably the entertainment business, and I did actually commercials when I was young. Like not now where like people know who I am, so I do commercials in that sense. Or where I work with brands, but I used to go for auditions, and how you go for auditions and tengok depan and then take picture, then take picture, and then they call you, right?
No, and then they'll tell you, okay, can you express happy? Can you express sad? Can you express frustration? You went through all of that.
Yeah, so when I was really young, like my parents set me up. And we did that. So I think that would have probably been one of the trajectories that I would have maybe been an actress right now. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know because I've never worked in that
Farah,
kind of line.
I have to say, Farah, those of you who are fans of Farah right now, they will agree with me that you have the face of an actress. You really, really do. And right now that you're telling me
You have to
that,
have
you
talent.
know, no, but you never know because you've done it before, you enjoyed it. You know, like who's to say, you know, during this time you can go learn something online about acting. I'm excited to hear this because I always love it when I hear people tell me something that they want to try to do but they're not very sure of. I'm a hype woman. You know, when I hear someone wants, I'm not sure, I'm like, go do it. So yeah, I think that's really exciting. Because Sally Lee said that you'll be an amazing actress. Okay, yeah. Agree. Yeah, you do, Farah. Yes, you actress material. Damn, girl.
The problem I have is memorizing lines. I cannot memorize it.
Girl, your brain, your athlete's brain, okay, the fact that, you know, you go through all the pain and yet you can still go through your training, that kind of discipline, that kind of mental power is next level. So right now you're saying that you can't memorize lines. Girl, I'm telling you, if you apply what you apply to your gymnastics, your pep talk, you apply it to memorizing script, I think you can do it. I honestly think you can do it. And I cannot wait. Like, hopefully in the future, you know, you never know. Farah Ann, when you talk to me next time, you have like 10 million followers and like you're an actress. What?
The half it, right?
Yes, oh my gosh, let's do the half it. Damn! Farah Ann, the actress. Those of you watching right now, please tag right now, message Farah. Tell her that her dream, she could be an actress, she could be a teacher, she can be anything. I'm so happy to hear that. I didn't expect it. I honestly did not expect it to hear this thing. Girl.
It's like very funny when people meet me because I'm actually also quite shy. Like, it depends on who I'm with. So if I'm with someone, I think a lot of people are like that, where when you're with someone that you really connect with, like right now with you, it's very easy for me to like, just like, you know, yeah, we got this and like everything. But I'm actually, when I go for events, sometimes I'm actually quite shy and I'm kind of always at the corner, like there and like alone. Like,
girl, I'm gonna tell you this tip, okay? I'm gonna tell you this tip. When the RMO is lifted, and events gonna come pouring in. We have another 5 minutes. I'm gonna share this tip, okay? This is what I do. Those of you watching right now at home, if you're gonna go for an event and you're going to go alone and you're very nervous, there are so many tips I've learned. I'm a very awkward, I'm very shy, and honestly, overall awkward human being, okay? But when I go for events, there are a few tips that I do, okay? Are you ready, Farah? The first tip I do is this. Normally, events got food. The first thing you do is go to the food.
Oh my God, that's what I do!
Yes!
No, I'm terrible. I'm the person. I've done this before. I tell you, right? So if I have a friend there, right, who, like, let's say, like, I know a few people, so I click, right, and then, like, we go and stand, you know, when there's the caterers, there's this door, and they come out, right, so I go and stand. Because, right, they always have events, right, and then after training, I have to rush for the event, right, and then I haven't had dinner, you know, and I'm very hungry, and then they always have this one tidbits, and they don't serve you dinner, right, so what you gonna do? You gotta, like, you know, makan lah, right, so I stand.
Yes! I get what you mean. Actually, you just taught me a new tip. Stand where the caterers stand.
Yeah.
Then you got first dips.
Because if by the time they walk, right, everybody take. By the time it gets to you, okay.
Yes, that's good. Good, guys. We learn stuff together. Okay, another 2 more minutes. We learn stuff together. Number 1, go to where the caterers are. Eat all the yummy food because chances are the food is amazing. Number 2, the second thing that I do is my phone. Now, I'm not on my phone just messaging people. No, I'm filming things. I am getting engrossed with the whole event. I am taking pictures and stuff. So because sometimes events, when you're doing it alone and you go events alone, it can be very awkward, especially when there's cliques around and you don't want to just go there and like just, hi, I want to talk to you. You know, you don't want to do that. So for me is I'm very close to those who follow me. I'm super close, and I want to share the environment because events, chances are, again, it's beautiful, and not everyone get to experience this. And I take the effort to film everything so that my viewers have the opportunity to kind of live my life vicariously through my social media. So that's what you do, girl. If you feel awkward, you're standing there, tak ada makan, or you dah makan, oh tak apa. Okay, boleh ambil phone, ambil IG story, ambil live, whatever, just use your phone. Like those of you who follow you or me, whatever, this is something that I feel we should encourage influencers or creators to record your experience, because people want to see, people want to know, and that makes you feel less awkward. So those are the two things. And if you're stuck with someone and you don't know what to talk about, girl, I got a Rolodex of things to share, okay? So ask about the weather. Because chances are Malaysians love to talk about how hot it is, how raining it is, okay? You can talk about that. Number two.
You talk about the jam.
Oh, yes. No, don't talk about jam first. I'll tell you before the jam, okay? Talk about, did you park there? Talk about parking. Talk about, did you grab or did you drive? Which one? So those tips are very important. Like then after that you can talk about jam. Then after from jam you can start saying, actually, how come you're here? Like, what do you do? Then you can start a conversation. Then you meet someone new, and then be interested, be in the moment. And I feel that is my tip. That's how I survive events. I love going events because I get to see how, things are decorated, how events run themselves, how the MC hosts an event. I find that very intriguing. But the sucky part is the awkwardness, because I told you, I'm a very awkward human being, right? I don't know how to deal with social settings, but these tips have helped me survive it throughout the years. And with that, I just want to say, Farah, thank you so much for being part of this live stream. I literally have 1 more minute. I want to say you are one of the strongest person I've ever met. To have that brain at such a young age, I think it's incredible, and all of us can learn so much from you. I want to thank you so much for being part of my my life's 2 short sessions, and sending you nothing but love and joy, okay?
Yay, thank you so much for inviting me. And actually, thank you for sending me the DM. I was just like, yay! Like, thank you so much. It really has been such an amazing time talking to you. And like, I hope that for everyone watching that you gain some insight into a lot of things that we jumped from just now. Because we started talking about something and like, talking about something else. But thank you so much.